So, you've just bought yourself a brand new copy of WWE 2K22, you've popped it into your console and waited about 6 years for it to install, and now you can finally embrace the sweaty, oily, grappling action that is so good in this game. Yet, things aren't maybe looking quite so good for some of the wrestlers here. In fact, they kind of look downright stinky. So let's take a look at them. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are the 10 worst looking WWE wrestlers in WWE 2K22. Number 10, Randy Savage. Now, across the past decade or so of WWE video games, one of the superstars whose likenesses has truly struggled to be captured correctly is Randy Savage. With the impressive graphics offered up by the PS5 and Xbox Series X, the Macho Man has never looked better, but the problem is he still doesn't look right. In terms of his attire, his movements, his moveset, his frenetic in-ring aggression, and his body shape, Savage looks great on WWE 2K22. But as ever, the problem comes with the face of the three-time WWE champion. Now, Randy Savage does look a lot more like, well, Randy Savage than he has on other recent console releases, but the face of the WWE Hall of Famer still doesn't sit well. And again, like in those other releases, a big part of that comes down to his hair. With essentially a short fringe in place to accompany the rest of his shoulder-length hairdo, it's a jarring visual that can prove distracting when you're looking to do battle as the legendary Macho Man. Number 9, Shawn Michaels. Now, while Shawn Michaels isn't initially playable on WWE 2K22, you can unlock the Heartbreak Kid by beating him in the excellent Rey Mysterio showcase, but there is a bit of a problem with the model they've got here, because the Shawn Michaels you meet in the My Rise mode when you reach the WWE Performance Center is merely Shawn Michaels by name only, for it looks absolutely nothing like the modern day Mr. WrestleMania. Because I mean, let's face it, these days Michaels would kill to have that vibrant head of hair that his 2K22 counterpart has, but not just that, the facial hair and the facial structure make Shawn looks like a completely different person to the real life HBK. It's a big miss. Number 8, Trish Stratus. Now, at first glance, Trish Stratus looks perfect on WWE 2K22, but like a few choice other wrestlers on this game though, if you look closer, then things don't quite appear to be, well, just right. Now, this WWE Hall of Famer's entrance is absolutely nailed as she points to the crowd while making her way to the ring. Movement and mannerism-wise, this is Trish Stratus. However, you then get to see a proper look at Trish's face and realize that something is amiss. Facially, the 2K22 model of Stratus looks a lot more like some bizarre mishmash of Maurice, former women's champion Victoria, and a mild splash of Mandy Rose rather than truly resembling the Canadian. Now, if you squint, Trish is kind of there, but for the most part, the facial model is way off. Number 7, Hulk Hogan. Now, there are two versions of Hulk Hogan on WWE 2K22, Hollywood Hogan and the post-NWO Return to the Red and Yellow Hogan, and both versions unfortunately suffered the same issue. Now, body-wise, the Hulkster looks great in both guises, and his facial features look extremely solid. So I ask you, what is the problem, brother? Well, it comes in the form of the headgear that is adorning the chrome dome of these two iterations of Hulk. Classified as caps in the Creation Suite, the NWO Hogan has his black bandana with Hollywood emblazoned on it, while the more heroic Real American Hogan has a yellow number with Hulk Still Rules on it. But it's not the design of these garments that's off though, it's more the fit of them. For whatever reason, the fit of these items make it look like Hulk is wearing a bicycle helmet or some sort of head diaper. It is bizarre, it looks downright odd, and the items in question take away from two otherwise great character models. Making things even more annoying, the cap is the only item you're unable to remove from Hogan in the Creation Suite. Clearly he's still got some sway back in WWE, making sure that people don't realize that he is in fact bald. Shock horror! Seriously, get over it, mate. Number 6, Beth Phoenix. Now, much like Shawn Michaels, the problem with Beth Phoenix comes in the My Rise mode on WWE 2K22. Unlike Michaels, the Glamazon is available as a playable character from the get-go on this latest 2K release. And whenever you get to play against or with the WWE Hall of Famer, she looks fantastic here. Complete with her patented entrance pose and her banging theme, this is handily the best that Beth has ever looked on a video game. But as I just mentioned, the character model used in the My Rise mode, well, woof indeed. The Beth Phoenix seen in this mode is quite frankly a scary proposition. And no, not in, man, the Glamazon is a badass competitor who could whoop my ass in the ring sort of scary. Instead, the My Rise Phoenix has a twisted, searching stare to her that makes her look as if she's plotting her next murder. Given how great the main in-game version of the three-time women's champion and one-time Divas champion is, it is head-scratching how sinister and outright chilling the My Rise iteration of Phoenix is. Number 5, Samoa Joe. Now, don't get me wrong, the model here is absolutely fantastic. It looks like Samoa Joe, but there's just one problem here. What is that beard, mate? Did you steal a part of a broom? That is, I've seen you with facial hair kind of like that before, but no offense, mate, it's never been that luscious. It is distracting. It genuinely looks like somebody stuck a fake beard on his chin. And annoyingly, while 2K22 does allow you to tweak or remove elements of wrestlers' attires, it unfortunately doesn't afford you the same opportunity to edit their facial hair, and thus Samoa Joe's beard tarnishes an otherwise flawless character model. Number 4. China. Yes, WWE 2K20 ended up being an absolute dumpster fire of a game, but one of the few positives to come out of that release was that China was included in a WWE offering for the first time since 2000's WWF SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. But ultimately, much like so many superstars featured in 2K20, China's character model looked pretty rubbish. And while the general presentation of China is vastly improved in this game, her model still looks barely recognizable. With the new meatier, more physical feel to the handling of 2K22, one of the game's greatest entrances is China coming out and blasting her gun cannon up into the sky. But unfortunately, while the sight of China firing her gun is a great one, when it closes in on her face, you soon realize that this character model shares only a fleeting, passing resemblance to the ninth wonder of the world. Is China's face an upgrade on her WWE 2K20 model? Kinda, but it's still not great. Number 3, Bret Hart. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if a video game offers me the option to play as Bret Hart, then I'm going to play as him first. But weirdly though, Bret Hart seems to be one of the very few video game characters whose model always kinda looks a bit off. And in 2K22, the issue with him is, well, it's simple, it's that his hair is just too bouncy. I know it sounds weird, but seriously, look at it. And another problem with him on 2K22 is that his face doesn't look all that much like him. It's again a case of the base model character looking great from a distance, but the close-ups on his face show that the model isn't all that great. The similarity to the real-life Bret Hart just isn't there, and the face itself looks like that of somebody a lot older than the 5-time WWE champion was during his in-ring career. Number 2, Ric Flair. Despite his rendering/avatar being Ric Flair from around 1993, the version of Nature Boy on WWE 2K22 is the Flair of 1988. But rather than looking like Nate off of either 93 or 88 though, the Flair seen in 2K22 resembles neither iteration of the Hall of Famer when you get a decent look at the character model. From a distance, the 2K22 Flair model looks great, but unfortunately up close the model's head looks a little like those pictures that we've all seen of a young Triple H flexing with that long puffed up hair that made him look like a Nature Boy knockoff. So yeah, I guess if you want to play as Ric Flair and Triple H at the same time, this is the way to go. But if you actually want a real Ric Flair model, not here. And number 1, Scarlet Bordeaux. Now, Scarlet Bordeaux is a unique beast when it comes to WWE 2K22. Not just is Bordeaux one of the included names who are no longer employed by WWE, but she's not even technically a playable character. Similar to the likes of Bobby Heenan and Paul Heyman, Scarlet's inclusions in 2K22 are solely as a manager. In that respect, she accompanies the also-released Karrion Kross to the ring as Doomsday gets set to crack skulls. Much like how it was utterly badass in real life, the entrance of Kross and Bordeaux looks similarly badass on WWE 2K22, and Kross and Scarlet look every inch the can't-miss main event roster act that they were. But what doesn't look quite right though is the face model for Bordeaux. While she would be wide-eyed and erratic in real life, the 2K22 version of Scarlet looks like she spent a fortnight sniffing cocaine with Tony Montana, and yeah, it's not a great look. And there we go, my friends, those were the 10 worst looking characters in WWE 2K22. I hope you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. But if you want to chat to me further, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice. That's my gaming channel where I do all of my streaming outside of work, and it'd be great to see you over there, my friends. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Hope you're treating yourself with love and respect, my friends, because you deserve all of the best things in life, alright? Like love, happiness, and success, and do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise, alright? You're a massive ledge. Now go out there and absolutely smash it. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon.